Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to my first live broadcast of an OOTP simulation game. This is just a quick check. I may not play an entire game, but I decided to go ahead and test this tonight to see if this is going to work. So we will go from there. Again, let me reiterate that I am new at this, so it's quite possible that I'm going to miss some things along the way. So most importantly, the fact that I'm not seeing any kind of a chat window up here right now. So this is something that I need to work out, and I'm hoping to be able to do that. Again, I'm not quite certain what exactly is going on. So if anyone sees this and is watching, please understand that I am not ignoring you. These settings are not coming up the way that they're supposed to. In any event, please comment if you would while you're watching, and let me know that you did see this, and perhaps you can give me some input as to what is going on with why I'm not able to see the YouTube chat that's going on right now. So today's game, exhibition game, is from Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia. It's 1964. The Cardinals, who won the pennant that year in a tight race down to the last week of the season, as the Phillies blew a 10-game lead in the National League that year. So I have these two teams playing each other today. Lou Brock has already singled to right field, so this game is joined in progress. Batting now for the Cardinals, Dick Groat, to be followed by Curt Flood. So here's Dick Groat, the shortstop. He is facing Chris Short for the Phillies. The Phillies line up with Wes Covington in left, Tony Gonzalez in center, and Johnny Callison in right. John Hernstein is at first, Tony Taylor at second, Cookie Rojas at short, and Dick Allen at third. So here's Groat. Kelly Dalrymple is behind the plate. Here's the pitch to Groat, and it's a liner to center field. Gonzalez moves in for the first out. So here's Curt Flood up. He's playing center field today for St. Louis. Winding the pitch, ground ball number. Short grabs it over to first. 2 outs with Brock down at second for third baseman Kenny Boyer. Right-handed hitter, winding the pitch, deep fly ball to left field in the gap. That ballpark will not hold it. And all of a sudden we have a 3-run homer. Flood must have beaten that ball out. I beg your pardon. I did not realize that there were 2 men on base. Let me replay that. Stand by just a second as I attempt a replay on that. Give me just a minute. Yes, that's very odd. I did not realize that he beat that ball out. So the Cardinals are up 3-0. That is quite peculiar. Yep. Flood did beat that ball out. Curt Flood was on first base. I did not realize that. I thought that was an out. There was only 1 out in the inning. So my apologies. So Bill White will now come to the plate. If you'll notice, his photo is not a match. So that's a fix that will need to be taken care of at some point in time. But the Cardinals lead 3-0. Bill White up. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 outs. And that brings up the right fielder, Mike Shannon. Shannon, pitch. Strike. Short strikes out 2 after giving up the 3-run bomb to Kenny Boyer. And the Cardinals lead it 3-0. So here's Tony Taylor to lead it off for the Phillies. Gibson on the mound for the Cardinals. They line up with Lou Brock in left, Kurt Flood in center, Mike Shannon in right. Around the infield, Kenny Boyer at third, Dick Grote at short, Julian Javier at short, Bill White at first, Tim McCarver behind the plate. Here's Cookie Rojas playing shortstop today. From the right side of the plate, he hits a pop-up, and McCarver catches it for 2 outs. And here's Johnny Callison playing right field today. From the left side of the plate, Callison strikes out, so Gibby gets a strikeout. 3 up, 3 down for the Phillies. Here's Tim McCarver catching today. Left-handed hitter. Ground ball down to Rojas. Over to Hernstein. 1 man out. Julian Javier playing second base today. Nubber out in front of the mound. Dalrymple up with it. Over to Hernstein for the out. That makes it 2 down. And here's Gibson to face Short. Swing and a miss. And Chris Short gets his 3rd strikeout of the game. So the Cardinals go down in order. For Dick Allen now up for the Phillies in the bottom of the second, trying to erase a 3-0 deficit. Allen sharply hit to Grote. Grote over with it. Makes the play, 1 out. Wes Covington, the left fielder. Left-handed batter. Ground ball, Javier. Over to White. 2 men out. Here's John Hernstein, the first baseman. He hits from the left side also. And he's going to get a walk. So the Phillies have their first runner on of the game. And that will now bring up the center fielder, Tony Gonzalez. Gonzalez with a fly ball to left, but Brock's going to drop back a few steps and catch it. So the Phillies leave a man on, and it's 3-0 St. Louis. Here's Lou Brock leading off for the Cardinals. He's 1 for 1 with a run scored on the 3-run bomb by Boyer. Swing and a miss. Short gets his 4th strikeout of the day for Dick Grote. 0 for 1 for Grote. Pitch. Fly ball right. Callison waits for it. 2 men out. That brings up Kurt Flood. He was on when he beat out an infield hit. And he's going to get a ball liner right out to Callison for the 3rd out of the inning. So Short is settled down after a bad first inning. And the Cardinals go down. And here's the bottom of the order for Philadelphia. Clay Dalrymple, the catcher. From the left side of the plate, liner to center, and there's Flood to catch it. 1 man out. Here's Chris Short. He takes a call, 3rd strike. Gibson now with 3 Ks on the day. And here's the leadoff man, Tony Taylor, up. Taylor. Liner. Second baseman, Javier. And that retires the side. So Philadelphia still looking to get a rally together. But here's Boyer, hit a 3-run bomb in the first inning with 2 men on. Here's Boyer. Nubber to the mound. Over to first, 1 man out. Bill White up. Winding the pitch. Swing and a miss. I believe that the photo problem has something to do with playing in exhibition mode, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe someone watching tonight can give me some insight on that. Here's Mike Shannon. Right field today. He's 0 for 1. Short. A little soft ground ball that Shannon is going to beat out for an infield hit. It is a dying quail alongside the ground, that is. And Mike Shannon has his first hit of the game. He's 1 for 2 now. And here's McCarver from the left side of the plate. Popped him up. Allen runs in for a few steps and catches it right on the 3rd base line for the out. So the Cardinals go scoreless again. So here's Philadelphia up trying to get something going with Cookie Rojas to lead it off. Cookie's playing shortstop today, and he takes a walk. So the second base runner of the day for Philadelphia is now on. Here's Callison. That ball's going to get behind McCarver. Rojas is going to go down to second base. And that was scored a wild pitch against Gibson. So now Callison with a chance for an RBI here. And unfortunately, he goes down on strikes. Gibson with his 4th strikeout of the game. Dick Allen up. Rojas down at second. Ground ball. Boyer over. And he cannot get it. So that is an infield hit. Allen beats it out, and the Phillies have their first hit of the game. So here's Covington. So Wes Covington's now up with runners on the corners with one man out. Covington from the left side of the plate, fly ball to center field. Flood has it, 2 outs. He gets the ball back in. Rojas scores, and that makes it a 3-1 game. So now here's Herrenstein with a chance to keep the inning alive. Fly ball right. There's Shannon drifting over for it, and he makes the play. But the Phillies are on the board with 1 hit and 1 run in the inning. So they now trail 3-2-1. Julian Javier now will lead off the 5th inning. He's 0 for 1. Short still on the mound. Wine in the pitch. Ground ball down to Allen. Allen over to Herrenstein. 1 man out. Here's Bob Gibson. Swing and a miss. Chris Short now with his 6th strikeout of the day, and Lou Brock is now up 1 for 2 with a run scored on the day. From the left side of the plate, swing and a miss. Short cruising with 7 strikeouts now. And here's Tony Gonzalez to lead off against Bob Gibson. Gonzalez up. The wind in the pitch. Sharply hit. Down to third. Boyer up with it. And over. 1 man out. Clay Dalrymple, the catcher. He's 0 for 1. Fly ball. Right field. There's Mike Shannon in for it. Makes the play. That's 2 outs. Short's going to stay in the game. And he swings and misses. Gibson with his 5th strikeout of the day. That retires the side. So now we move to the top of the 6th. St. Louis up with Dick Grote, followed by Kurt Flood and Kenny Boyer. Grote hit down to Herrenstein, unassisted, makes the play, 1 out. Here's Kurt Flood, 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored. That ball is a liner. Herrenstein behind the bag to catch it. That's 2 outs. And here's Boyer, who's accounted for all the runs today with a 3-run bomb in the 1st inning. Fly ball, center field. Gonzalez drifts over a little bit to his right, and he makes the play. So the Cardinals go down in the 6th inning. They have not scored since the 1st. So Tony Taylor will now bat in the leadoff spot for the Phillies, playing second base today, 0 for 2. Ground ball to his counterpart, Javier, over to Bill White, 1 out. Cookie Rojas has scored a run, but he's going to ground out to Boyer. Boyer up with it all the way over to first, 2 outs. Here's Johnny Callison playing right field. And he goes down for his 3rd strikeout of the day, the hat trick. So 3 strikeouts on the day for Callison. And that's going to bring Bill White up to the plate. White is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Wine and the pitch from the left-hander. He freezes White on the outside corner. And Chris Short has his 8th strikeout of the game. Here's Mike Shannon. 1 for 2. Ground ball down to Allen. He gets it on a hop over to Herrenstein for the out. 2 away. Here's McCarver. 0 for 2. That's going to dink in front of Tony Gonzalez in the center field. And Tim McCarver has his first hit of the day for the Cardinals. And here is Javier. 0 for 2 for Julian. Hit down to Rojas. Play at second. McCarver's erased. Cardinals go down without scoring a run in the 7th. So here's Dick Allen to face Bob Gibson. Gibson has thrown 85 pitches. See how long he can last. So Allen is 1 for 2. Swing and a miss. Gibby with 7 Ks now. Here's Wes Covington. He's walked 1 time today. 0 for 1. Wide and the pitch. Fly ball. That ball is drifting over the right field wall for a home run. Oh, that's a triple. I'm sorry, that's off the top of the wall. I thought it went out, but it is. It's a triple off of the top of the wall. Shannon got the ball back in. But Wes Covington is going to be down at third now with 1 out and a chance for the Phillies to cut the lead with John Herrenstein up. Gibson's thrown 94 pitches, and he's walked. So there's going to be a call to the bullpen at this point in time. And the Cardinals are going to bring in the veteran Curt Simmons to bat, and he is going to hit in the number 8 spot with Gibson's turn coming up the plate. Phil Gagliano will come in and replace Julian Javier at second and bat in the 9 spot. Okay, so Simmons is going to come in relief for the Cardinals that hit 8th, and Gagliano is going to hit the 9th spot. He is now playing second base. So here's Tony Gonzalez with 2 men on and 1 out, with the Phillies trying to rally here in the 7th. Gonzalez 0 for 2 on the day. Ground ball. Grote has 1 play, goes home with it, and that man is going to be out. John Herrenstein goes down to second. Gonzalez safe on the fielder's choice. And here's Clay Dalrymple. 0 for 2. Wine in the pitch. Fly ball. Flood's on his horse. But, he makes a big catch. It's a big catch for Kirk Flood. Out in center field. Almost got over his head, but he was able to make the play. So Curt Simmons comes in and gets the side out with 2 batters coming in with 2 men on base, and the Phillies failed to scratch. So we now go to the top of the 8th with Phil Gagliano to lead off, followed by Brock and then Grote. Pitch. Pop up. Right side of the infield. Herrenstein has it behind the bag for 1 out. Here's Lou Brock, 1 for 3 on the day. Chris Short now up to 103 pitches. Herrenstein unassisted. He actually will lead off in the 9th and will be lifted. Here's Grote. Let's see if he can get 1 more man out before he has to go down. He has now thrown 107 pitches. Fly ball, right field. And that's the 3rd out of the inning as Callison made it. Something just flashed across the screen that I did not notice about something that happened in the game. I usually don't follow those notes, folks. So anyway, bear with me. I'll try maybe to pay attention to those sometime. So the Phillies are going to send a pinch hitter up, and they have quite a roster of players here. I'm going to bring in the veteran Vic Power to pinch hit for Philadelphia here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Vic Power up to face Curt Simmons, a left-hander. Wine and a pitch by Simmons. Deep into the ground at short. Grote can't come up with it. He boots it. So Vic Power is now at first. There's not very much speed over there. So we're going to see if we can get a runner in there for him. And let's see who that's going to be. Johnny Briggs is going to run for Vic Power. So a pinch runner, Johnny Briggs, is going to pinch run for Power. So Tony Taylor is now up 3-1 Cardinals, bottom of the 8th inning. Philadelphia trying to rally here. Simmons up. There's a ground ball. Taylor made 6-4-3. And there's your double play. 2 outs. And now Cookie Rojas up with 2 outs and nobody on. Simmons to face it. Simmons pitched for the Phillies, of course, for many years in the 50s, and now is a reliever with the Cardinals late in his career. And that's a line drive over the shortstop's head. So Cookie Rojas is on. Flood gets the ball back in. Here's Callison. Let's see if Curt Simmons can get Callison out. Wine in the pitch. Down to shortstop. Grote has it. And he's over to first base to get the 3rd out. So the Phillies are now going to bring in a pitcher, and it's going to be Ray Culp. So Ray Culp will come in relief. Fine game pitched by Chris Short. The 3-run homer in the 1st inning hurt him. So Culp is going to pitch here in the 9th with Curt Flood up, followed by Boyer and then White. Here's Flood. Wine in the pitch. Ball gets through right under the glove of Tony Taylor, and that's a base hit. So the Phillies bullpen may see some activity here soon. Here's Boyer with the 3-run homer in the 1st inning, counting for all the St. Louis runs, and this time he strikes out. Culp gets him. 1 out. Here's Bill White. Winding the pitch. Ground ball. Down to short. Over to second. Rojas over to Taylor. They get the leading man on. But Bill White is on first now for Mike Shannon with 2 outs. So here's Shannon. He's 1 for 3. That ball is going to drop in front of Johnny Callison at right field for a base hit. Callison gets the ball back in. And we now have runners on the corners with Bill White advancing to third. Shannon going down to second on the throw. And here's Tim McCarver. Simmons up. And he gets McCarver on a call third strike. So the Phillies get out. Kirk Simmons gets them out of the inning again. So we're down to the bottom of the 9th inning. I'm sorry, that was Ray Culp. Excuse me, Ray Culp pitching. I got a little bit confused there. My apologies. This is Simmons now. Is now pitching for Dick Allen. I got all mixed up there, folks, but I beg your pardon. All right, let's try this again. So Dick Allen is now up. It's 3-1. Pitch. Fly ball. Left field. Ballpark will not hold it as Simmons gives up a home run to Dick Allen. It's now a 3-2 game. So the Cardinals are going to go to the bullpen and bring in Barney Schultz to pitch to these last 2 batters in the 9th. So here we go. Barney Schultz is now in there for Wes Covington, to be followed by John Herrnstein and Tony Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. Covington out. 1 out. Here's Herrnstein. This is a ball game we've got now. Herrnstein up. Phillies down by a run. John Herrnstein up. This ball is going to be popped up. Who has it? I don't know who had it. I couldn't see who made the play. I think it was Kenny Boyer. I'm not positive about that. Sorry about that. I lost track of what was going on there. But I think it was a pop out to the third. Okay, here's Gonzalez. Last chance for the Phillies. Here in the 9th. 3-2. St. Louis. Schultz on the mound. In relief for the Cardinals. Here's Gonzalez. Pitch. Base hit in the right field. Shannon up with it. Gonzalez keeps it alive. So Clay Dalrymple is going to be hit for. And it's going to be, let's see who we're going to try to bring up here to do this. We're going to bring another veteran up in the form of Frank Thomas to pinch hit with some power. Let's see if Schultz can get him out. So Gonzalez with decent speed at first. Here's Frank Thomas. Winding the pitch. Right up the middle, base hit. Frank Thomas keeps the inning alive. The runner is going to try to go for third. He's in a rundown. And they get the man out. And St. Louis wins this exhibition game 3-2-2. Well, thanks everyone for joining me this evening. I'll give you a recap of the game before we leave. St. Louis defeats Philadelphia 3-2. The Cardinals had 3 runs on 7 hits. 1 error. They left 4 men on base. Bob Gibson gets the win. Barney Schultz gets the save. For Philadelphia, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. Chris Short gets the loss, 0-1. Bob Gibson named player of the game. So that's going to do it, folks. I'll go back and watch this replay and see how it looks. Please comment if you get a chance to watch this. And any suggestions that you would make to improve my broadcast would be greatly appreciated. So that'll do it for tonight. I hope to be back with you soon with the continuation of the 1968 World Series that I am replaying also with St. Louis up 2-1 in that. So thanks again, everyone.